for the Cali Compromise of 1850, statehood for California. For the next 3 years, Congress debated what to do about slavery in the territory gained from Mexico. Remember, we got that huge chunk of land from the Mexican cession from the Mexican-American War. Southerners wanted all of the Mexican cession open to slavery, but Northerners wanted all of it closed. As a compromise, Southerners proposed a bill that would extend the Missouri Compromise line all the way to the Pacific. Slavery would be banned north of that line and allow it south of it. Northerners in Congress rejected this proposal. Then late in 1849, California applied for admission to the Union as a free state. Northerners in Congress welcomed California with open arms, but Southerners rejected California's request. Making California a free state, they warned, would upset the balance between slave and free states. The result would be unequal representation of slave states and free states in Congress. The year ended with Congress deadlocked over California's request for statehood. Once again, Southerners spoke openly of withdrawing from the Union or country, and once again, angry Northerners denounced slavery as a crime against humanity. The Compromise of 1850. I call this the Cali Compromise of 1850. It helps me remember that California was involved. On January 21st, 1850, Henry Clay, now a senator from Kentucky, trudged through a Washington snowstorm to pay a call on Senator Daniel Webster of Massachusetts. Clay, the creator of the Missouri Compromise, had a new plan to end the deadlock over California, but he needed Webster's support to get his plan through Congress. Something for everyone. Clay's new compromise had something to please just about everyone. It began by admitting California to the Union as a free state, which would please the North. Meanwhile, it allowed the New Mexico and Utah territories to decide whether to allow slavery, which would please the South. In addition, Clay's plan ended the slave trade in Washington, D.C., allowing slaveholders in Washington would be able to keep their slaves. Human beings would no longer be bought and sold there. Clay and Webster agreed that this compromise would win support from abolitionists without threatening the rights of slaveholders. Finally, Clay's plan called for passage of a strong fugitive slave law. Slaveholders had long wanted such a law, which would make it easier to find and reclaim runaway slaves. The compromise is accepted. Hoping that Clay's compromise would end the crisis, Webster agreed to help it get passed in Congress. However, despite Webster's support, Congress debated the Compromise of 1850 for 9 frustrating months. As tempers frayed, Southerners talked of simply leaving the Union or country peacefully. Webster dismissed such talk as foolish. Peaceable secession, he explained. Your eyes and mine are never destined to see that miracle. I see it as plainly as I see the sun in heaven. I see that secession must produce such a war as I will not describe. A war in slavery was something few Americans wanted to face. In September 1850, Congress finally adopted Clay's plan. Although most Americans were happy to see the crisis end, some Southerners remained wary of the compromise. Moreover, the compromise led to the demise of one of the country's main political parties, the Whig Party, Clay and Webster's party, because members had moral objectives to slavery.